You might not know this, but the Earth is home to 8.7 million species of living creatures, and nearly 18,000 new species each year. With that number of new creatures being discovered, we're likely to see a few amazing creatures that look as if they came from a science fiction movie. From an ancient purple frog to a creature that carries the Trump name, we give you 5 rare creatures that actually exist in real life. Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button to get notified every day for more amazing content. With that being said, let's begin. Number 5. Purple frog. Frogs come in all sorts of shapes, sizes, and colors, and there are many rare species, but some are rarer than others. Scientists have discovered a new and unusual species of frog in the Western Ghats mountain range in India. The frog has shiny purple skin, a light blue ring around its eyes, and a pointy pig nose. The scientists have called this species Bhupethe's purple frog. It's been determined that the frog's lineage is of an ancient species. They're also not a very diverse species, so finding them is very special and unusual. This species of frog has been evolving for around 100 million years. It has small eyes, a long snout, and short limbs equipped with hardened, quote, spades. These spades enable the frog to spend the majority of its life below ground. Rain is the only thing that can coax the purple frogs from their underground burrows. In fact, the amphibians don't even surface to eat. Instead, the Indian purple frogs use a long, fluted tongue to slurp up ants and termites underground. The purple frog emerges at the start of the monsoon to breed, laying its eggs in small, shaded, rocky pools in the bedrock of torrential streams. Tadpoles take approximately 100 days to metamorphose. Molecular evidence has found the purple frogs to be closely related to a family of tiny frogs only found on Seychelles. It's thought the two families shared a common ancestor that was subsequently isolated on different landmasses following the breakup of the supercontinent Gondwana. The tadpoles are adapted to living in torrents and have specialized sucker-like mouth parts which they use to cling to the algae-covered rocks where they feed. Local people consume the tadpoles, which are also used alongside the adult frogs for medicinal purposes. The purple frog is listed as endangered by the IUCN Red List and is threatened by deforestation from expanding cultivation, in addition to consumption and harvesting by local communities. Little is known about this species, but it has very specific breeding sites. Its specialized breeding biology makes it vulnerable to habitat loss and change. The majority of locations where the purple frog is found occur outside the protected area network, and some breeding sites have been damaged by the construction of check dams which aim to control water flow during heavy monsoons. The purple frog's fossorial burrowing lifestyle makes it incredibly difficult to study, so there are no current estimates of population sizes, and they may soon disappear from the Earth completely before anyone even notices. Number 4. Pacu fish. The South American pacu fish is known for its bizarre set of teeth, which bear an eerie resemblance to human teeth. Pacus are a large family of freshwater fish related to the piranha. Pacus that are kept in captivity are known to develop personalities as they grow older and can sometimes recognize their owners. Their fascinating behaviors make them a popular choice among some experienced aquarists. Pacus primarily eat plants and are considered mostly harmless to people, despite their kinship with piranhas. But they do occasionally eat other fish and can potentially outcompete native species or spread parasites or disease. Pacus normally swim the waters of the Amazon and other South American river systems, but pacu has been found in Swedes Lake in southern New Jersey. Pacus are often kept as aquarium pets, though they can grow too large for many people to take care of at 44 pounds, which is about 20 kilograms or 3 feet or 1 meter long. The pacu has a bit of a bad reputation online, where many people believe they bite human testicles, allegedly confusing them with tree nuts. Oh, I got a deep dive on this one. The fears have been so widespread that some officials have even suggested men swim with their bathing suits tightly tied. Who doesn't do that? You don't want to risk it falling out. There are a few reported incidents of pacus biting people, but fears that they target humans are being overblown, according to a fish expert anyway, at the Denmark's University of Copenhagen. However, local people blamed invasive pacu for the deaths of 2 men in New Guinea in 2011 after they reportedly lost their testicles. But information on the alleged incident is scarce and secondhand. Pacus have appeared in Arizona, Michigan, and other places, but they pose a greater threat to ecosystems than to human bathers. In many places, it's illegal to release exotic species like pacu, so aquarium owners should take the time to educate themselves about the requirements necessary to keep the fish they buy. Pacus should ideally be kept in extremely large aquariums of 150 gallons or more, or large outdoor ponds, either one. Care should be taken when decorating and maintaining your aquarium because they're known to use their powerful teeth to sometimes crush aquarium heaters and accessories. Pacus are extremely powerful and can sometimes knock glass lids off aquariums when excited. Care should also be taken when cleaning your aquarium. Although they are an extremely peaceful species, they're very inquisitive and have an extremely powerful bite. Number 3. Chinese water deer. When photos of these deer started to surface, people thought that it was fake and that someone had photoshopped the photos of a deer with fangs. But surprisingly, it turns out that this deer with fangs is indeed very real. Bucks have large protruding tusks and no antlers, which are generally only visible in adults. The tusks are used as weapons during the rut and in defense against predators. The existence of tusks suggests that they're a very primitive form of deer as they developed before antlers evolved. Large, rounded ears give them a teddy bear-like appearance. Aww. The coat is russet brown in summer to pale gray-brown in the winter. Chinese water deer lack the white cowdoll patch of roe deer. Chinese water deer were first kept at London Zoo in 1873, but escaped from Whipsnade Zoo in 1929. Numbers increased through introductions into deer parks and subsequent escapes and releases, and the British population are now thought to account for 10% of the world's total. During the rut, bucks and does form pairs and defend territories during November and December, remaining together until April. As with some other deer species, bucks perform parallel walks with invading rivals and only fight if their dominance order is not established using this method. Unlike antlered species, fighting in Chinese water deer rarely results in fatalities, but injuries are common. Chinese water deer are solitary, except when mating, but may form pairs or small groups at high density. Bucks are particularly aggressive and do not tolerate the presence of other bucks. Both sexes give a short bark when alarmed or as a warning. While chasing other deer, bucks make rapid chattering sounds called whickering. During courtship, a buck emits whistles and squeaks. Both sexes scream when chased, so there's really nothing too scary about them. However, seeing one of these staring at you with those fangs still can give you the heebie-jeebies. Just talking about it's doing it to me, man. Number 2. Puss Moth Caterpillar. This cute little fella goes by the name Puss, Tree Asp, or Southern Flannel Moth Caterpillar. I like that one. Their habitat starts in Maryland and sweeps down to Florida and west into Texas and Missouri, inhabiting all of the states in between. These guys are all over the place. It resembles a tribble, and if you're an original Star Trek fan, you might notice the resemblance. Cute, right? While tribbles are relatively harmless, save for the exponential reproduction and just general chaos and entropy, the puss caterpillar is venomous. Buried beneath its hairs, our furry little friend has 6 rows of urticating hairs. These specialized hairs are like mini hypodermic needles hooked up to glands full of venom that inject upon impact. Although a minor pest in landscapes, they can cause a very severe sting. This occurs when the caterpillar's rubbed the wrong way. Just kidding. When he's rubbed or pressed against a person and the venomous hairs of the caterpillar stick into the skin, causing a severe burning sensation and a rash. The puss moth caterpillar is teardrop-shaped with long and silky hairs, giving it the appearance of a tuft of cotton or fur. The appearance of the pus caterpillar makes it interesting to curious minds, including young children, gardeners, and even just those young at heart. You guys. However, you don't want any of these things to sting you, believe me. Stings on a person's arm may radiate to the armpit region. Oh man, I had to cross my arms just reading it. Ooh. A rash may develop around the sting. Other symptoms may include a headache, nausea, vomiting, inflammation of the lymph nodes, and sometimes shock or respiratory stress. In a lot of ways, pus moth caterpillars bear a remarkably close resemblance to living, breathing, and walking toupees. It's almost comical, until you realize what they're capable of. They may look cute and fuzzy, but believe me, that isn't technically fuzz that covers its body. Whatever your opinions may be about the 45th President of the United States, there's no getting around the fact that small animals bearing his namesake are dangerous. Very, very, very dangerous. Don't let them sting you. Number 1. Glaucus atlanticus. This tiny creature is so unique looking that when you first see one, you almost can't believe it's real. It's like some Pixar stuff, you know? The Glaucus atlanticus, or the blue dragon, is one of the most fascinating looking creatures in the entire ocean. We don't even, I can say that confidently, and we don't even know so many species in the ocean. But they're so unique. Check it out. It was first discovered and photographed around April of 2016, where its photo caused a huge viral sensation online. That namesake coloration is for more than just show. The sea slug uses the coloration to its advantage as it floats on the ocean's surface. The blue side of their body faces upward to camouflage it against the blue of the sea. Evolution is dope. While the silver side faces downward to camouflage it against the bright surface of the water. It is so dope. Yeah, pretty tricky stuff, Mother Nature. But that's not all. The species has a number of specialized adaptations that allow it to engage in a surprisingly aggressive behavior, preying on creatures much bigger than itself. It's like Mini-Me trying to fight Fat Bastard. Oh, it's so good to watch. Anyway, the blue dragon, typically just an inch-long itty-bitty, frequently feeds on Portuguese man-o'-wars, which have tentacles that average 30 feet long. A gas-filled sac in the stomach allows the small slug to float, and a muscular foot structure is used to cling to the surface. And then, if it floats by a man-o'-war or other jellyfish, they're not very picky, the blue dragon locks onto the larger creature's tentacles and consumes the toxic nematosis cells that the man-o'-war uses to immobilize fish. The tiny blue sea dragon isn't the bottom-feeding sea slug people are used to seeing. It's pretty much the same thing, but it takes the motto, work smart, not hard, way more seriously than its bottom-feeding peers. When the slug comes across a helpless jellyfish drifting unwittingly to its death, it snatches it by its body and pulls chunks of its gelatinous mass with strong jaws and rows of needle-sharp teeth. Boy. Oh, and if there aren't any venomous jellies around to ingest, blue dragons will just turn to cannibalism. They're all about surviving. The tiny poisonous sea slug can be just as dangerous on the beach as well. After they've fed on poisonous jellyfish, they have the ability to concentrate that poison within their bodies and unleash a sting more powerful than that of the jellyfish they ate. Unsuspecting beachgoers can sometimes find themselves on the painful end of that sting. Glaucus atlanticus sightings are rare, but far from unheard of on the shores of Australia. This isn't surprising, given the creature's preference for the warmer waters of the Pacific and Indian Oceans. It's feeling right at home. And if you swim in the right places off of South Africa, Mozambique, or Australia, you might just find one floating upside down, riding the surface tension of the water's surface. Just make sure not to touch it. And also, you probably might not see it because evolution is awesome. It is naturally camouflaged. Alright, Top 5ers, if you haven't already, make sure to visit our other channel, The Brilliant, for even more interesting list videos that'll blow your mind. Oh, but I'm warning you, the videos over on The Brilliant are extremely addicting to watch as well. There'll be a link in the description to the channel, so make sure to come and visit us. Or you can go to our latest video popping up on screen right now. Oh, and have you visited thefinestpost.com to enjoy the most amazing articles you will ever get to read?